All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning and happy Saturday. My name is Yola Alsabag, and I have the honor and pleasure of actually doing today's announcements. I want to thank Kali and Corinne because they've been huge inspirations in my career. So I'm excited to do this with you guys, and hopefully I'll help Corinne out every other week or so. So thank you for having me on. This is our weekly training every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Pacific time. So 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Congratulate yourselves. You're actually taking care of your business and you're taking care of how to feed your family through this hour. So it's exciting. It's actually a great hour for you to get plugged into this business because I can tell you 100% of your success at FFL or anywhere, any business that you're going to get into, you're going to have to get a training on, continue to get yourself plugged into it because that's how you're going to be able to fail fast, fail forward. This is definitely what they call a convection oven business and not a microwave business. So we have instant gratitudes in a lot of things that we do with the families that we get to help. And, the money that obviously we see in our bank accounts, but also with us being a team and actually being able to do this once a week where we get on all Zoom and we share things for our team and we share our announcements and our top 10. It's great to run with a team because I can honestly tell you it's changed and it's pivoted my business. I get inspired by everybody here every day. So a lot of you, I see your names out there. I see your names on the leaderboards, and I'm so excited. So thank you for having me here. We're going to start today with, obviously we want to take a lot of notes because we have an hour of beautiful nuggets that are going to be dropped all throughout this hour. I'm very excited about our guest speaker, but I'm going to have Corinne introduce him. I heard his name all throughout FFL's leaderboard, so I'm excited to hear from him today. But before we do that, we're going to get into the top 10. So top 10 is also huge in this industry because these are agents that are making decisions to go out every day and help every family that they see. And in the interim, actually feed their own. So that's the great thing and the beauty about our business, right? We get to help families. We get to see them every day, see how we can help them. And of course, our family has helped in the meantime. So without further ado, congratulations to the top 10. Top 10, number 10 is Previs L with 8 families helped. Number 9 is Denise W with 9 families helped. Number 8, Thaddeus Struggs, one of the most consistent producers on the team, 10 families helped. Amaka A, and I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, just let me know for the next time, 10 families helped. Ryan, you, 10 families helped. Congratulations. Robert W, also with 10 families helped. Andre B, 11 families helped. Austin S, 13 families helped. Also, Rakita number 2, number 2 is Rakita G with 15 families helped. And number 1, congratulations to Eugene Marshall. That's a huge accomplishment. 17 families helped in 1 week. So you can tell what Eugene's been doing. He's been going to work. Now, guys, again, top 10 is a decision. You go out every day and you make a decision to actually run your business, run your numbers, invest in your leads, invest in yourself by doing these trainings, by being plugged in. So this is all part of our success here at FFL. With that, new live sales dials, if you guys haven't got on yet, it's great. It's a wonderful way for you to connect with other agents. I've personally been on the last few weeks and I've heard Corinne close some great deals. I've actually gotten better at booking appointments myself, and I've been doing this for a couple of years now. So everybody needs training all the time. It's not what I never think that I've remembered everything, so therefore I know everything. I always plug in just because I always need to be connected to my business. So live sales dials, is a great way to do it. Invite your agents. I know it's a little bit nerve-wracking to be on camera sometimes. As you can tell, I'm a little nervous to be doing this, but we're all learning together, and that's what the beauty of this business is. Have them get on camera. We're not judging you. We're not gonna do anything besides just help you and help you get better, because we don't win unless we all win. This is a team and this is a team effort. So definitely live sales dials, get on it. If you haven't, invite everybody. Also, work spots discounts. $100 a month, you guys, we're investing. We're our business owners. $100 a month, you get your work spots. You have access to the office anywhere in the country. Offices, they have Wi-Fi. They've got discount codes on. Thank you. It's right there on your screen. So they have discount codes for being a member for $100, and you can't do better for your business with that. I am a traveling agent. I write business in about 5 to 7 states, and I love work spots just for that reason, because there's an FFL office usually, and I'll write business there and I'll get plugged in. And of course, it saves me on like on Office Depot or whatever, because I can get into my Wi-Fi. They have printers available. It's really worth your $100 a month. So if you don't have work spots, definitely sign up for that. The second thing is our weekly schedule. We talked about how Saturday is important, because Saturday we get together, we talk as a team, we get some training from some really top great producers, but we have training every day here at FFL Fury and High Voltage. So you guys have access to trainings every single day that you can just plug in, even if it's just for an hour or so out of your time. The more that you invest in your business and yourself, again, you're investing in your growth in this business. And this is a great way to do it, because there's no excuse for you not to be on one day, every day of the week. You also have great leadership here within the group, so definitely reach out to Corinne and Kali, and they're, of course, or if you're one of my team members, because I see a few of you on here. And we're all here to, again, help each other out. So weekly schedule, take a picture of that if you have to, and keep that on your calendar. Put those on your calendar. So that way I have it set up for every 30 minutes and every 30 minutes before the event, 10 minutes before this happens. So that way, if I'm doing something, it reminds me 10 minutes before, so I can get into the mindset of what I need to be doing for that training. Obviously notepads, stylus, pens, whatever, they're your best friend. Take notes as much as you can, because we have so much training available. You're going to be able to get successful fast here. Last but not least, I will go ahead and give this to Corinne so she can introduce our speaker. I wanted to talk about our Maryland conference. I have attended a few of those conferences in Maryland. I can tell you that that is the best way to get plugged into, know what we're about, hear about Family First, and see what it is that makes us the best IMO out there. Okay. I say that humbly, of course, but I've seen other companies, and yeah. So Frankie Fumi is going to be there, Kali, Corinne. I have a few of my team members that are going to be there. It's at have we changed that address, or is it still at the Rosedale Christian Academy?
That's the correct address.
Perfect. So Rosedale Christian Academy. Sean Mike's going to be there as well. That's a great training, you guys, and it's free. So FFL is one of the only companies that puts free training out there. All you have to do is get there. And with this one, they're actually feeding you lunch at 11. So get there early, network with as many top producers as you can, because there will be a lot of them. And that's why I love going to those conferences, is because people start knowing your names. You start networking with these people. So if you reach out to ask them about your business, they know who you are. And that's very important in your success at any business in any industry. So if you are able to make Baltimore on May 14th, it's a Saturday, so there shouldn't be an excuse not to go. And just go and have lunch and network and market and have a great time. All right, that's it for me. I'm going to go ahead and introduce, well, you guys all know Corinne. She's amazing. I hope I was able to fulfill a little bit of what she does, but she's a powerhouse, and she'll be introducing our speaker.
Yay. Thank you, Yola. Guys, that was Yola's first time running the intro to the training call. So great job. You did an amazing job. You put your Yola touch on it, as I like to say. And so thank you for helping. And if anybody, obviously, if you want to help out and, kind of, do what Yola's doing and what I'm doing, you are more than welcome to send me an email or shoot us a text, and we can have a conversation about it. So again, Yola, thank you. So to piggyback off of the Maryland conference, guys, what Kali and I wanted to do was kind of take away the excuses. And so if you're having a hard time in this business, I know some people struggle with, coming up with the money for leads. We're going to take that away from you, and we're going to offer a incentive here. So and the reason why we're doing this, guys, is it's not only to help you out. We don't have to do this. We want to. But it's essential for growth, especially the conference. Big decisions are made at big events. And if you're looking to grow an agency, right, or if you're just an agent wanting to learn more about, what it is you're a part of, what it is you need to do, how to have success every week. Number one, as an agent, you get to recharge. So you get to go here knowing that you get to learn things that you didn't know, but also, the thing about it is you're going to grow from this event. You're going to learn things that you didn't know, and you're going to recharge everything that you've been working hard at doing. You're going to realize that you're not the only one going through things. Again, everybody is going through things. If I ask people on this call what you're going through, everyone's going to raise their hand and say they're going through something. So you're either in something, going in something, or coming out of it. The question is, what are you going to do about it? And the people that win here are the people that get up and work and make a decision to do what they need to do, right? And if you're looking to grow an agency, again, this is essential for growth, right? You getting people here, all right, a massive amount of people here is going to set the tone to what your agency is going to look like in the next 6 to 9 months to a year, right? So this is very, very important. You don't want to miss it, right? If you can get there, I challenge you to get there. If you're close or nearby, definitely you want to make sure you're registered. But let's help you guys out here. So if you're registering for the event, right, and this is outside of you, all right, the person that has the most people registered, we're actually going to put $100 towards your leads, okay? So that you have to have the most people register for the event, right? But the most important part, right, and here's the bigger the bigger pot, right? That if you have the most people in attendance, okay? And these are not people that just show up and say, hey, I'm here, and then leave. Like, they have to stay through the entire thing. We're going to take attendance at the end. So please make sure your team knows you got to sit through the whole thing, and your butt has to be in that seat at the end, right? But the person that has the most in attendance is going to have $500 towards your leads. So this is very, very, very important. This is right around the corner. You don't want to miss it. Take advantage of this, guys, because leads are so important. If you don't have leads, you really, it's really hard. I know some people run referrals, but that's not consistent. That won't make your income consistent. And you can do referrals, but leads is where it's at. Leads is how you grow. Leads is how you make your income and you keep it consistent for whatever it is you decide that you want to do in this business. So that's what we have for that. And I don't want to take any more time away from our amazing speaker. Number one, I want to say I am grateful and thankful that he took the time out to pour into us, and he's going to give us all the gems, right, that we need to have a successful FFL business. His name is Wayne Carr. He is an executive vice president. He's a two-time Hall of Famer. I'll let him go over that, right? Two-time Hall of Famer. So if you're looking to get the Hall of Fame, right, he's going to go over what it takes. He's always willing to help. And once again, he is going to drop those gems that you need. He is the agency owner of Hidden Gems. Wayne Carr, please tell your story. Definitely touch on some of those points that I sent over to you, and we'll open it up for questions afterwards. And guys, this call runs till 12 o'clock, so let's take all the notes we can so we can have success each and every week. Wayne, again, thank you so much, and take it away.
No, it's my pleasure. I appreciate the opportunity. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, it's been 7 years, and it honestly, Yola, it never gets comfortable. I can tell you with the utmost certainty, and it's always humbling, especially on this stage, for somebody to say, hey, can you come talk to my team? Because it's never been something that I really took lightly, because I completely understand that everybody here has a decision as to who they work with, where they work, and everybody here is here because they want to provide for their family, which means that KG and Khalid trusted me enough to come talk to you to help you provide for your family, because, and you may not realize this until you start building, but the ripple of what you do is stupid. And I mean that in the best way possible. And I don't want to intimidate you, but I'm not confused at this point in my career that not only what I do impacts my children, their mother, the people that depend on their mother, my staff, the people that depend on my staff, they have households to maintain. They have children that depend on what I do and what I decide when I wake up in the morning and whether or not I hit snooze. So it may just be about you now, but even though you might think it's just about you now, it probably isn't in all actuality, if you really sit down and think about the people that depend on you. But I digress. Like I said, I've been here 7 years, and I'm warm market. So if you aren't talking to your warm market, then you're doing yourself a disservice, because you're literally overlooking your, not to put myself on a pedestal or anything, but you're looking over the Waynes in your life, if that makes sense. Mark Mead, as everybody refers to him as. I met him through my ex-wife. And when Mark was building his business, he reached out to his brother. They all went to high school together. He reached out to his brother and asked if he knew anybody that would be good for this business. And Marlon thought enough of me to mention my name. And then Mark remembered enough of me to pick up the phone and call. But me and Mark had done the back and forth thing through different MLMs, through Mona V, Tahitian Noni International, Organo Gold. So he called me, and it was a brief call. He was just getting started. I was like, yeah, send me the information. And at that time, I guess his staff wasn't as good as it is now, because I never got the information. I went on about my business thinking it was just another one of those things that we kind of threw at each other when we came across something new. Fast forward a year later, I reached out to him to try to pull him into, at the time, I just discovered Organo Gold coffee. Everybody drinks coffee. It's the way. So I sucked in again. I called him to try to pull him in. He was like, look, man, I don't know what it is you're talking about, but I know what we do. My agency protected 800 families last month. Oh no, I deposited the equivalent of protecting 80 families last month. Is that something that you can live off of or not? And we say families now because we can't say dollars, but he said the dollars, and I was like, wait, what? Like, you're not 4 times smarter than me. So if I can do a fourth of that, like, my life has changed forever. So I was like, I'm in. What do I need to do? And that was probably in July. And I remember that was in July. By the time we went to, and this is how long it was, that was at the end of July, August, September sales conference. They used to have sales conferences twice a year. September sales conference in Atlanta. I had just got my license, my first sales conference, and I'm drinking from a fire hydrant. All this information, Matt Smith talking about creating a 2% arbitrage in an IUL, John Wetmore dialing the phone in front of a room full of people, just a crowd around him, like he was signing autographs or something. Mark talking about CBOs and paying off the mortgage early. And I'm like, this is like, what did I get myself into? But I knew, because I knew Mark and his pedigree, and I knew that if there were that many people there and it didn't just start, looking around the room, that they couldn't all be smarter than I was. And if they were making money doing this, that this was definitely something that I could do. So I mean, I strapped in, and plus I didn't have anything better. And that's what you have to realize. Like, if you have a plan B, then go work your plan B, because it's a distraction, honestly. But if it's better than this, then just go work it. Or if it's pulling you away from this, then just go work it, because you're wasting everybody's time here. But if this is what you think it is and what everybody says it is, then just give it 3 months. Just give it 3 months. And if it doesn't completely change everything that you thought that you'd be able to accomplish in life, then go do your plan B. Because I guarantee you, if you give it 3 months, then it'll completely change your perspective on everything. I mean, my 2-year-old son, well, when he was 2, he's 7 now. When he was 2, he was asking me for a boat, because he knew that it was possible because of what he had seen. He grew up in the business. So he's just living a completely different life than what I grew up in. So I joined the business in September. I think I wrote my first policy late September. And this is another thing, like your story, your journey isn't everybody else's journey. So don't be swayed by the people that come in and write and protect 30 families their first month, or protect 15 families their first week. My first month, I protected 4 families. My second, 7, my third, 11, my fourth, 17. It wasn't until my 5th month that I protected 20 families in 1 month. So your journey doesn't define, I mean, your journey definitely defines you, but how you start isn't how everybody starts. And how everybody starts doesn't define what your journey is supposed to look like. They're just guides. As long as you hit those footprints, those milestones, in whatever timeline it takes you to hit them, then you're fine. You're good. Take your time. There's no rush. So, and then I'll cut the story off, but September, October was my second full month. So I protected 7 families that entire month. In November, my mom was visiting. I'm glad she's outside because I've never actually told this story in front of her. I had to fly to Ohio for a funeral. But my mom was visiting. It was a Memorial Day weekend. And because of what I told you, I didn't have anything that was driving income before. I was literally selling my sneaker collection to buy diapers and put food on the table before and at the beginning of this FFL journey. So she comes to visit for my birthday and then Memorial Day. Because I was behind on my car payment, it was probably 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. My mom's walking down the street, walking the dog, and I get a knock on the door. I'm coming outside, and as she's walking down the street, they're lifting up my car to repossess my car. So, and I know she's mom, so she played dumb, like, what happened? What's wrong? And I know she lives in the same world I do. So I knew she knew what was going on, but she was probably just in as disbelief as I was, and probably not disappointed, but probably disappointed that I didn't come to her. But at this point, I have mouths to feed. So what I look like picking up the phone, calling my mom. Luckily, this is my 3rd month, so I had the cash to get it out. It just happened to be the holiday weekend, so I had to wait until Tuesday. But because I had decided that this was what I was going to do, I was able to rent a car that weekend, go run my appointments, pick my car up on Tuesday, and just promise myself that I would never be in that situation again. And then from there, it was, I could say the rest is history, but I'm not an integrity partner yet. But the rest is very well documented. We'll just put it that way. 2017 was the first time I hit Hall of Fame. It's a completely different landscape than what I did in 2020. And the only reason I did it in 2020, because at that point, I had started to build a team, and I didn't want to be that manager that was pushing everybody, to run 25, 30 appointments a week, to be on the leaderboard every week, to plug into all the trainings. So I did all that to prove to them that it was possible, and that I wasn't just preaching at them, that I was willing, because a lot of them weren't here when it happened the first time, that I was willing to do everything that I was telling them to do. Because we always say, well, we don't say it as much anymore, but your team, if you're building a team, they're only going to do half of what you do. So if you're content with helping 20 families a month, you can't expect anybody to really do more than 10. So you got to show up. If you don't show up, then you can't be mad at them for showing up, and you have no right to talk to them about showing up. It's not a coincidence that we work at a company where Sean truly and honestly believes, and you'll hear him say it at times, believes that every day when he gets up that he has to earn the right again to lead this company. So if you're not plugged in and you're not following the footprints, so to speak, then you're setting yourself up for failure, and you probably should take another hard look at plan B. And I'm not trying to deter anybody from taking advantage of this system, because it's dramatically changed my life. But if you're not going to take advantage of it and plug in, and we'll talk about that now. If you're not going to take advantage and plug in, you're doing yourself a disservice, because if you have more than 2 conversations with me, chances are you're going to hear a gym analogy. Plugging in, the reason that the training is what it is, Monday morning wake up, Tuesday inside the cell, Wednesday truth talk, Thursday most people agency calls, Friday the next level live. That's 5 days of training. If you've ever tried to work out or get in shape, you go to the gym every day, right? If you don't go to the gym, you kind of miss things, or you're putting yourself behind the 8 ball. So the training is the gym, and the information that's inside of the training. They say 80% of any workout plan is your diet. That information that's inside of those trainings that you go to, that's your diet. That's the information you feed yourself. Like Ivan says at the end of every one of our new agent inductions, you have 80,000 thoughts a day. Nobody could possibly talk to you more than you talk to yourself. So those 80,000 thoughts you have a day need to be impactful, because if you're not telling yourself the right things, or at least disrupting a large proportion of those thoughts, you're talking yourself out of everything that you dream about. That's your opportunity to dream while you're awake and to bring those things to fruition. And if you're not having those conversations and pouring into yourself like everybody pours into you in those calls that you plug into, then you don't have a chance. So literally everything I learned from this business came from a call. Paul McLean religiously was my favorite trainer. So everything I do, if you listen to my in-home, the way I set up the in-home, the way I eliminate objections, even some of my speech patterns are Paul McLean. If you listen to me talk about IULs or annuities, it's a combination of Matt Smith and Brian Mendenhall. Sorry, one of my an agent on the team just text me something from the house. But yeah, if you're not doing that, then you're not giving yourself an opportunity or even a chance. So you shouldn't be confused as to why you struggle to book appointments or why you struggle when you get in the house, because you're not putting the time in. Zach Tradowski, he's an integrity partner now, and I'm comfortable saying this because he says it from stage. Zach and I used to have a 9 o'clock call every Friday morning. Every Friday after he ran his appointments, he would take copious notes. Paul McLean. I never knew what that word meant until Paul McLean. He would take copious notes. And then Friday we would get on the phone and dissect his appointments. And yes, I was helping Zach, but at the same time, I was helping me, because every appointment that I helped Zach through and every appointment that we talked through, I got to see it in slow motion. And I got to dissect it and talk through it. So as I'm talking him through it, now when I see those same situations, I'm already prepared. I already know what's going to happen. I already know what the outcome is, because I had those conversations with him while he was calling me for help to get better in the house, but I was getting stronger as well. But I don't do that if I don't go to the gym and I don't sign up to the trainings every day. I'm not in a position for going back. This is how it comes full circle and how quick it happens. Going back to get that phone call from John Wetmore, who I pseudo idolized from that very first dial session. I don't get that call from John Wetmore saying, "Hey, Wayne, I have this agent. I think you would get along well with him. Could you help him out?" Just like they called me to jump on this call, John calling me to help one of his agents, I wasn't confused as to what that meant. And I wasn't confused at what it meant for Zach and his business either. So for me to be in that position, it only comes from plugging into these calls, listening to these trainings from the Mark Meads and the Matt Smiths and the Dominique Rogers, who's a beast on the phone, and Frank and Jamie. I mean, I must have called Frank 5 times to have him break down the way IUL works so that I could tear it apart in the house if somebody else sold one, or so that I could build value in it in the house if I wanted to position it. So if you're not, and I don't know that Frank knows it that well, or Frank has this graph that he draws, if I'm not on that training when Frank presents it to the country. Does that make sense? So you can't, and it's an hour out of every day. You waste an hour doing far less important things that are never going to put a dime in your bank account. So why wouldn't you give yourself a chance? And then those things don't happen if I'm not coachable. I don't get to work one-on-one with John that leads to those calls or after that, because now John sees the value in me as an agent that says, okay, he helped me with Zach, so how can I help him? And to this day, John and I have that relationship where anytime I need something, it's a text or a phone call away. So the training is by far, it's unparalleled here. You won't find anything like it anywhere else. You won't find people like this anywhere else that are willing to help either. So you definitely should take advantage. And then the 2 most important things about the business, there's no shortage of information out there, the phones and the field. Because if you don't take the phone seriously, let's back up. before you jump on the phones, like she talked about leads. Leads is the lifeblood. Going back to using that gym analogy, your leads is your diet for your business. It's your diet for your business. The phone and the in-home are your reps. So if you go to the gym and you eat like trash and you go do 2 reps and go home, you can't go back and look in the mirror looking for results, because your bank account is going to look the same as it did before, because you ate like trash and you only did 2 reps and you wonder why it didn't work. So get good at getting leads, get good at getting on the phone, get good at getting in the house. You should have, and there's no such thing as too many leads. So if somebody says something, stop talking to them. If anybody ever says that to you, go find somebody else to talk to you, because you can't trust anything that they say. There's no such thing as too many leads. You should have at least 100, 150 leads per dial session. That's 100, 150 for Monday, 100, 150 for Thursday. I don't care what happened on Monday, buy 100, 150 for Thursday, because again, you can never have too many. You don't know what that dial session is going to look like on Thursday. That second that you think, oh, I still have 50 leads that I didn't even call, 75 people I didn't get a hold of. Let me just buy 50 leads. You're going to go into a weekend with 5 appointments and wonder why your bank account is light on Monday or Tuesday. So don't pump fake yourself into thinking you're working. And then in the field, like you have to run, like the first time I hit Hall of Fame, because I was terrible in the house, I dialed Monday for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for Friday and Saturday afternoon, and Saturday morning for Sunday. I worked 7 days a week because somebody was depending on me. And the first time I protected 40 families in a month, is not a coincidence, was the first month I had an assistant. So if you're on the fence, that assistant will pay for itself, because I jumped from protecting 25 families to 40 families a month. So not only did I have more money in my bank account, but now I had somebody to lighten the load and somebody else that was depending on me. So, sorry, my mom's Yorkie, it barks at the wind. But you have to get into the field. If you're just starting out, you need to use that as an opportunity and as a means to get in front of as many people as you possibly can. So put the numbers in your favor. It should be, we don't know where it's coming from. You should be in the field 7 days a week to shorten the learning curve. At the very least, you should be in the field Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, Saturday, and it's 8 and 8. If you're running internet life leads, then you should be booking 8 to 10, because the show ratio is a little bit lower and those appointments are a little bit shorter. So give yourself some grace, and you should almost be at the point where you're begging for somebody not to show up or for somebody to cancel so that you can go to the bathroom or get something to eat. Otherwise, don't eat. You did it before when you were broke, so why not do it when you know you're going to pick up checks? So it's okay if you skip a couple meals. You're not going to die. You just know to plan better, because you've gotten to that point on the phone where people are actually there waiting on you. So that's the field. But don't take the phone for granted. And it's 8 and 8. We shouldn't be confused as to how much time we need to spend on the phone. So it's not a 9 to 5. You work for yourself. So
it is? Oh, it is running to there. Oh, it is running.
so you should be the first person there and the last person to leave, but you should not leave until you book your 8 to 10 appointments. So even to this day, I'm still at the office 7:30, 8 o'clock. I don't have to be there at 7:30, 8 o'clock, but I need to be there at 7:30, 8 o'clock, because if I'm not there at 7:30, 8 o'clock that one day, it gives that agent that's struggling or that's trying to figure it out a license to show up when he feels like it, because he's self-employed or because he works for himself. Not to mention that now I'm legit running a full-fledged business. I mean, there's always something for me to do. I can't get to the office early enough at this point, whereas before I would make excuses as to why I wouldn't go to the office first thing in the morning. So dial until you're done. I'm not the last person to leave now, but during that Hall of Fame, both of those Hall of Fame runs, it wasn't uncommon for me to still be in the office at 8 o'clock because I need to get my appointments. If I need to sacrifice 12-hour, 14-hour days
Let me check next door.
so that I can ensure that I have checks to go pick up, people to go see, people that are waiting for me.
Yeah.
Mom, he doesn't need your help. So that you can ensure that you have people to go sit in front of and they're waiting on you, then why not do that? It's not forever. It's a short-term sacrifice. And when I say short-term, many of you have been in your situations for probably 3, 5, 10, 15 years. So if you can sacrifice 2 or 3 years to completely change the rest of your life, then do it and then dial it back from there. So, I mean, you struggle through those things, struggle through this for a hot second so that you never have to struggle again. It only makes sense. And if it doesn't make sense, then this business isn't for you. But, and then, I mean, it's hard to run that many appointments and to talk about what you do and to show up differently, because it does. You just show up differently, not even knowing that anything has changed, because in your mind, nothing really has changed. You're still you, but there's certain things that you can't help. Like your confidence changes. You don't realize your confidence changed, but you talk differently. You walk into a room differently. You show up at events differently, and people want to know. So if you do those things for yourself, you'll build an agency on accident. But if you're plugging into these things habitually and religiously, then it's just a matter of time before you start to think about those things inherently and subconsciously, where agency building just becomes second nature. Mark talks about it as walking and chewing gum, because I mean, some of us can't, but the goal is to get you to a point where you can walk and chew gum, because it's essentially the same. The recruits or the people that you're talking to about the business are the same people that you sit in front of at the table. The same information gathering when you're talking to somebody about the business is the same information gathering that you're doing when you're talking to somebody about why this business makes sense for them. And the same presentation you give, like you don't give the same presentation to everybody in the house about insurance or mortgage protection or whatever. So you're not going to give the same presentation to everybody about the business either. Everybody has different needs. Everybody needs this for a different reason, and everybody's at a different stage of their life. So when you're having those conversations, be conscious of it. If they're already in the business, it's one of three things. It's leads, it's comp, or structure. And within that structure is support. And I already told you it's unparalleled. And a lot of you probably came from other places where you know that the support here is dramatically different than the support that you had there. And a lot of you came from places where you flat out didn't have leads. So if you're having those conversations with those people about those things, then you need to be conscious of where they are and ask questions until you have enough ammo, just like in the house, until you have enough ammo to prevent a bulletproof case. Because otherwise they're going to poke holes in it because they're skeptical, because nothing this good exists that everybody's not taking advantage of. Just like when you tell somebody about an annuity. Well, why doesn't everybody do it? Because the people that you're talking to aren't talking to you about it, because it doesn't benefit them. So just keep that in mind as you start to talk to people about the business. And understand that it's not cookie cutter. And if they're not already in insurance, you're trying to talk to them about getting their license, they're struggling through a lot of the same things that you struggled through if you came to this business unlicensed. Like I can talk to people about having a child on the way, or having a child looking at them that they want to provide something different for, that their 9-to-5 isn't going to do. I can talk to somebody about being at a 9-to-5 and having a 6-figure salary and bonuses, or near 6-figure salary. I didn't make 6 figures until I came to FFL. A near 6-figure salary plus bonuses, and why this makes sense for them. I can talk to somebody that runs their own business and why they need to leave that business and run this business, because it makes so much sense. And then you can go back and get that business with the money that you make from this business as you free up time and get better at this. So, yeah, I mean, I say all that to say to just plug in and get it to as many training and as many events as possible, because without those events, I would have never established the relationships. I can remember vividly, again, how it comes full circle, not even knowing who knew who I was. Matt Smith pulling me aside to just talk to me about the business. It's like, hey, you run too many appointments, or you write too much insurance to be doing things the way that you do. sit down and he just kind of mapped out some different things to me about advanced markets and about being intentional about my time and about scheduling that dramatically changed the face of my business and how I approach things, that instantly freed up time and instantly increased deposits into my bank account for a number of reasons. Because I was building, because I was helping more families, just because things were happening on a different level. So yeah, I mean, like she said, get to these events, get to know these top producers, just ask questions. And I promise you, you ask them questions, they're going to ask who you are, and they're going to look for you to see if you applied for it, if you applied the information. And if you don't apply it, don't ask them any more questions, because they're going to remember that you didn't apply it. And a lot of times, more often than not, the people that I talk to anyway are going to ask you, are going to call you out, and you should probably be prepared for an answer if you're bold enough to ask questions that you're not prepared to hear the answer to. So that's all I got.
Wayne, I got some questions for you. Great job. Thank you for jumping on our call. Now, one of the things that I've noticed about our organization is it's not a lot of people that are recruiting, right? It may be people recruiting here and there. But why is it important to recruit?
Yeah. So when I started in this business, we never talked about chargebacks. So I'm going to start there. It's important to recruit because just like you have spots at the gym, you have somebody spotting you when you want to lift that heavier weight. Your agency becomes your spot. So when you get that $5,000 chargeback, you might write through 2,000 or 3,000 of it, and then your overrides will cover the rest of it, or those things will chip away. And then situations like this come up. Like I didn't plan, nobody planned on my boy's father passing. Nobody planned on that. So now my entire Sunday's day of appointments is gone. I gave them away to another agent to run those appointments. I'll run my Saturday appointments, but if I don't have an agency, I don't have people to give those appointments to. So now I have to double back and try to get those people on the phone again to figure out another time when they've already committed to meet at that time. And now that agent has an opportunity to run maybe some fresh mortgage leads where they may not have had that opportunity before, and get in front of a different part of the business. And then they have a different sense of accountability, because not that I'm anything special, but they're looking at it like, these are Wayne's appointments, these are Wayne's leads. Let me not F this up.
Right.
Not to mention, like, it's great selling insurance. It's great selling policies, but watching somebody buy a second car so that their wife can get a job and texting you, thanking you, or somebody sending you a text message saying, I just did all my Christmas shopping and I still have more money in my bank account than I've ever had before, and I didn't have to shop at the dollar store this year. Like, those things are more life altering, not life changing, because for me, but more life altering than anything else that this business has ever done for me on my own pen. So, I mean, just the humanitarian side of life, like, we're all here to help, protect, and serve. And what better way to do that than create that same ripple that you created yourself in different pots throughout the country, and just watch that ripple and change all those lives, or help change all those. I didn't do the work. I didn't write any policies for anybody, but
Right.
change all those lives too. Like, it just makes sense on so many.
I heard you say at the beginning, because what I think, one of the things I think about is, well, you said at the beginning, thank God that Mark Mead thought enough about you to even bring this to you, right? And so thinking about where you would be if he never talked to you about FFL,
I probably would have never trusted insurance. I would have never found it, because somebody else would have brought it to me that I didn't trust as much, and I would have never believed him.
Right. So
that's
it's
not
so
the first time
important.
I heard about insurance.
It's so important that we're talking to the people that we know, because, and I think another thing, Wayne, is that we want to, what do you say to people say, oh, they want to wait and see how I do?
Please. I'm not the best talker in my family. I have 2 salespeople in my family that tried insurance that don't have the work ethic. But if they had the work ethic, they would have killed this. So I'm not the magic. The system is the magic. The support here is the magic. I can only give you so much. You have to do the work, but I'm not gonna do them a disservice. I mean, you said you loved them, right? This is your warm market. You said you cared about them. So if you love them and you care about them, why wouldn't you share this with them, knowing what it's done for other people, irregardless of what it's done for you up to this point?
Right.
Plus, it takes a village. And if even if collectively we never get good at this, and I only ever do 20,000 a month, my two cousins only ever do 20 or only help 20 families a month, that's 60 families a month collectively. That's more money in our family for events, for vacations, for the next generation when they want to do things. That's just more of everything to go around for the next generation, to change the lineage, to raise the bar. It just makes sense.
That's good, Wayne. Because like I said, I don't think a lot of people understand, like they're either scared to build an organization, or they don't believe enough in themselves to build an organization. I think that could be a lot of the blockage, right? And so when you get here, it's like you don't know what you're doing. None of us knew what we were doing when we got here, right? Because we're new. But we have people that we can connect the new people to, so that even if we don't know what we're doing, we can connect them to our uplines that do know what they're doing and can help that person get started. So we don't have to be, as a lot of times people think we got to be, new agents think they got to be everything to everybody. No, just like you came in and we're teaching you what to do, bring your people, but don't wait to talk to people about this business, because it's just going to delay your success. And the more people that you have with you, the funner it is. I tell you, like, the reason that we're having so much fun here, and think about this, guys, Wayne talked about a ripple effect. So I want y'all to understand how powerful it is. I made a decision in 2019 that everybody who's on this call, you had an opportunity to change your life because I made a decision, right? And we're all connected through FFL, right? And so, and you may not even know me, but somebody who connected to me, connected to somebody else, that's the reason that you're here today. Like Corinne would not be here today, and she may be, but she wouldn't be here today at this moment doing what we're doing right here, right? But Corinne would not be here today if I didn't talk to her about the business. Sandra would not be here today if I did not talk to her, if she didn't know about the business, right? Yvette would not be here today if she didn't know about the business. Akil would not be here today if he didn't know about the business. But that all came because someone talked to me about the business and they told me about this opportunity. And two, I didn't believe it when I got here either. But as time went on, as I got plugged in, then I started seeing and I started believing. And then I started telling other people about it. Right. And so you guys see that this works. All you got to do is open your mouth. And it's not your job to let somebody know that somebody might look like they got it going on the outside and they are broke. Because there's a lot of people out here that trying to keep up with the Joneses and they are house poor. They got it going on. It looks like they got it going on, but you don't know, because if you haven't talked to them about this business and what it can do for them. Right. Thank God the guy that talked to me about FFL, he's not even here, y'all. Does anybody on this phone know who Mike Barnes is? Anybody? Nobody. But Mike Barnes, we went to high school together, and I was a vice president at my other company. And thank God he didn't look at my title and think I wouldn't be good here, or I'm already doing good, because I was broke. Right. And so thank God he talked to me. And even though I told him no at first, that I came back around 8 months later and said, tell me about that company that you're working for. Right. And so just remember that you could be the key to somebody else's life changing. So Mike was around only to introduce me to FFL because he's no longer here. But you might inspire somebody enough to help them change their life. And that's what Wayne is talking about. This opportunity will change your life. And everybody who we've had on these calls every week talks about how it's changed their life. Like we haven't had anybody who spoke that says, I got the FFL, I had everything, and then I lost all my stuff and I had to start from scratch. Nobody, that's not the story here at FFL. The story at FFL is I came here, I was broke, and then FFL changed my life financially, and I'm so far away from that. So I'm sorry, but I don't mean to take over, but
No,
like
you
this
good.
this recruiting thing is such a big deal. And if more people did it, you know what I'm saying, more people would have more, they would have more success.
100%.
I have a
100%.
question for Wayne.
Sure.
Thank you for pouring into us today, by the way. What is one piece of advice that you would tell your younger self, or as a new agent, what is one thing you wish somebody would have told you back then that would have maybe catapulted your success a little bit faster, if you will?
Yeah, I wish I would have started and committed to getting up earlier, sooner. Like everybody talks about 5 a.m. for a reason. And for me, it was necessary because it was before the little ones got up. But if you don't have that, getting up at 5 a.m., if you think about it, most people don't get up until 6 or 7. So even if you get up at 5 and most people get up at 6, that's 7 hours. That's 7 hours a week. I don't have my phone with me, but it equates to something like an extra week a year. So just think, if every year you had an extra week to do everything that you're doing, that the same people are doing, like there's no way that they could keep up. Like the compound effect, even if you're doing the wrong thing week after week, eventually you're going to surpass and distance yourself from those people just because you're putting in more reps. Like if I do more push-ups than you, I'm going to get stronger faster. You might be stronger than me now, but eventually I'm going to get stronger than you and I'm going to surpass you because I do more.
Thank you.
So Lewis had 2 questions, Wayne. When you were running 7 days a week, what was your schedule?
I typed it there, but I was dialing Monday for Tuesday.
Okay.
Wednesday.
Oh, I see it. Okay. Sorry.
No, I can say it again but Monday for Tuesday, Wednesday, and I was dialing Thursday for Friday and Saturday afternoon, and then dialing Saturday morning from 8 to 12 to fill up Sunday.
Okay. And then his second question it was a really good question. What kind of goal setting did you do when you first started? And what kind of goal setting did you do for your Hall of Fame? So when you first started, what were your goals? Because it's funny to me sometimes, Wayne, when people talk about their goals in FFL, they're like, I just want to make like $3,000. And you're like, oh God, like that's nothing, So when you first started with FFL, what were your goals?
Honestly, when I first started, my goals were to not have the daycare payment return and to be able to go to the grocery store every week and make sure.
I know that's right.
But then once I realized that I really could do it, like Mark and I went from talking to helping 5 families a week to helping 5 families a day. And then it got real, because now that's the bar. If I leave the house and I don't help 5 families a day, then I'm like, what did I really do today? Like, did I even go to work? But that Hall of Fame year, it was really, it was a weekly, monthly goal. So the goal was to help 15 families a week. 10 was drop dead. So 10 families a week, drop dead. 15 was the goal. And then 40 families a month. And that was the pace, because Hall of Fame is 33 families, 33.3 families a month or something like that. So if I overshoot that and I help 40 families a month, even in those months that I fall short, then I've outpaced it. So I have some room for leeway. And then what happens inherently, because you're just focused on that, like it becomes less about the numbers and more about the families, which is what it should be. But when we start, we're all just trying to make ends meet, but it becomes more about the families, and you just end up on accident with those months where you do 55, 60 families. I've never done more than 63 families. So I'll stop there. I'm not that guy. But you have those months inherently just by going through creating those routines and being disciplined.
Right. Okay. And so that was good. Hold on. The second part of his question was, hold on. Okay, no, I'm sorry, you answered it. We got 4 more minutes, guys. Does anybody else have any questions for Wayne?
Real quick, before we ask that other question, I failed to mention one of the things that dramatically shifted this for me is when I stopped focusing on my bank account, and understood that these are real families, no different than my family, that just genuinely want to protect their family. And if it's not me, then they're probably not going to let somebody else in the house. So for that 30, 45 minutes, if you just focus intently on that family and pulling out the information that they're reluctant to pull out, even though they ask for your help, as to what this looks like, what happens, dissecting what the income looks like, and walking them through what that's going to look like and why this is important, and walking them through why you're presenting the solution that you're presenting, then you'll inherently protect more families. And this will be less cumbersome, and it'll be a lot easier for you for just check whatever you're going through at the door, as hard as it may seem, and focus on that family for 30, 45 minutes. And then you can get right back in the car and get right back to wherever you felt sorry for yourself to begin with.
That's good. That's good. Someone asked, and there's levels to this. So your lead flow, right? Are you doing mortgage and final expense? What are you doing? What do you run?
I have the same mortgage BPLs and the same mortgage flow that I've had for probably 5 years now, maybe 6 years now. But I would be an idiot not to take advantage of the internet leads and the discounts that come out. So everything that comes out from a profitability standpoint and from a leadership standpoint, I use, just because I can't have somebody call me saying that these leads don't work and then try to coach them through it, not knowing what it feels like to be on the other end of those calls. Like, you can't tell me these internet leads don't work and everybody says that they didn't fill it out, and you not be able to overcome that objection, because I've done it numerous times. So yeah, I use everything. I still buy a solid 50, 75 internet leads, depending on what the discount is, a week, and run those appointments. So I see what it's like in the house and on the phone, in addition to the mortgage. And because I'm running a hybrid schedule, it helps me fill, because I'm no longer booking every hour and a half like I was in the field. It's literally every hour on the hour.
Okay.
From 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. on the days that I can, and then from 8 a.m. until I have to go get the kids, and some days it's back to the office to finish out the day.
But and the key, I think you said it earlier, is that you need, every time you dial, you need 100 to 150 leads every dial
100%.
session. So that really is not the kind of leads, it's really the amount of leads that you have, and then you have enough leads to be able to fill your schedule for your next run day.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Yep.
All right, we got time for one more question.
I'll answer KG's question.
Okay.
About retention. And then I started this when it was just me before I had an assistant. I would just go to Target and buy thank you cards. So they come in packs of 25. Just buy a pack of thank you cards, and at the end of every week, sit down and write a thank you card for everybody that I submit an application for. A thank you card with my card. And now, because I have a team, they get a 7-day follow-up to make sure that they don't have any questions about their policies. If it's a Social Security draft or something like that, they get a phone call to remind them that it's coming. And then the same thank you card, but now the thank you card it's tight because there's more volume. But I found a company that would type it in my handwriting, so it still looks like I hand wrote it. So it's actually my handwriting with a note from your insurance policy, and I'll send you a PDF. But it basically says that I'm here when you're not here, and reminding them why they took out the policy, and how me as an insurance policy is going to be there in the event that you can't be here for your family anymore.
Can you send me when you get a chance, Wayne, can you send me a picture of it, and then so I can post it in our group? So, and the name of the company as well, because that'll probably help a lot of people. But it's 12 o'clock, Wayne. We thank you so much for your time, because we know your time is valuable. Everybody take their phone off and mute and thank Wayne, please, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you, Wayne Carr, EVP of FFL Hidden Gems. Wayne, you were in Florida, right?
Outside.
Oh, geez. Everybody put their phone back on mute. So you're in Florida, but thank you so much for your time. Thank you guys for jumping on here this morning. You could be doing anything else on a Saturday morning besides listening to us. I hope you got some value out of, being here this morning. We are here every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. We will be on the live dials as soon as we hang up here. So anybody who's dialing today, jump on with us. Corinne will post the link to the live. Well, actually, it's just, if you're going to live dial, it's going to be the same link as where we are right now, because we changed some stuff. So if you're not dialing, then drop off. But everybody have an amazing week, and we'll see you guys next Saturday.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank y'all. See y'all.
I have a feeling it's just gonna be me and you left, Corinne.
Yeah. Hey, Galaxy S21 Ultra 5G. Hey. Just don't. How are
Hey,
you?
I got so many questions. I don't know, like the leads and all that. Like, I just started this week. I just started taking the classes and stuff. So everything he was saying was foreign language to me.
Don't worry about it. Just get through the class and keep jumping on here. So you'll start to hear some stuff that starts to sound familiar. But right now, focus on finishing the class and passing the test. Like, that's your main focus.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I finished the first 2 chapters. I'm starting the 3rd section. I finished the first 2 on Friday, so I'm starting the 3rd one on Monday.
When did you start?
Friday.
Oh, yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, good, great. That's awesome. So you did 2.
Well, I've been working for Medicare Part D for like 3 years now.
So a lot of the
I've been setting up.
is familiar.
Yeah, a lot of the terms and terminology and stuff is because what I was doing was working for Platinum Healthcare, getting pretty much transferring hot leads to a representative as what I'm getting ready to be. So that's what I was doing, was transferring leads to other people to set up policies with. So I know a lot of the terminology and stuff. A lot of it was common knowledge to me, but now I'm getting into the stuff that I don't know nothing about. So
it's okay. You probably the Medicare stuff that's the part that's confusing, like to most people, because they talk about Medicare in the life class, don't they? But they talk about insurance period, but a lot of the name, the terminology is the same. So you'll be fine. Keep going at the pace you're going, get it knocked out. And then, you can also sell Medicare here too. What company are you still working for, the company that you were working for?
Yeah, Platinum Healthcare.
Okay, you still working there?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but you could
but I'm planning on leaving there. I'm just working there now to supplement income until I'm able to start my own.
Okay, good.
So once I take my class and get licensed and stuff, I won't be working there anymore.
Okay. And I'm sorry, what's your name?
Jessica Ballard.
Jessica. Oh, okay, I remember you're in Telegram, right?
Yeah, I got added to Telegram Friday.
Brittany hired you?
Yeah, Brittany hired me.
Okay, so you're on my team. Okay, yay.
Yeah, Brittany ain't whose team I'm on though. I'm under
me.
Oh, okay.
Brittany works for me.
Yeah, I don't even know my manager's name. I just got a text message from them, but they never introduced themselves, so I'm guessing it's
your
you.
manager. It's me.
Okay, well, nice to meet you.
Brittany does the hiring for me, so thank you. I mean, good. Yeah. Let me give you my number, Jessica.
I got it from where you sent me the text message telling me my voucher was there and telling me to join this meeting today.
Oh, well, that wasn't me, but the system is working.
I'm not muted. Sorry.
Oh, you good?
It's automated, so.
Okay, I'll go ahead and put your number in.
Okay, but yeah, so good. Welcome to the team, though.
All right, thank you.
If you have any questions, reach out. But yeah, finish that, get that class knocked out. And
what's your number?
It's 443 453 6126.
All right, I got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, y'all have a good day. I'm going to go ahead and get off here so y'all can finish up.
All right, have a good one.
Thank you. You too.
I don't think these other 2 people mean to be on here.
Oh, I just want to say thank y'all. Have a good day. Shamar.
Okay, you're welcome.
That was you too, Karim. Take care.
I'm sorry. Okay. Who is iPhone?
I don't know.
Hey, iPhone. And then it
That is
was,
Wayne. Thanks. For...
and then it was just two of us. Okay, Tara, where? Okay, yes. You ready to get that license? This is a cameras on meeting, by the way. There we go. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, I'm at work.
You're always at work.
Yeah, somebody
So,
gotta make the money. My wife ain't making it like that.
okay.
Well, you could do this and take that hard hat off.
Yes. Let me tell you how I met him.
You like you working hard.
I met him. So Darren asked me to train him.
Darren Charles?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think you were direct to him.
Do down, yeah.
Or you was direct to Trina.
I think I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
I think he put me under Trina. I have no idea.
Yeah. This was like years ago.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's not going to take you years to get your license.
I hope so, neither. I just need to start taking it more serious. That's all. Stop playing
All right,
around.
you will. Your family depends on it.
Hey, shit. I depend on it. I ain't making enough here.
Let's go.
Get it done.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I'm just chiming in.
Oh boy, okay.
So I'll see y'all next call, okay?
All right.
Oh, y'all take it easy.
You too.
Bye.
I told you. What happened with you and Thad yesterday?
Wait, we're not having this conversation here.
Why not?
It's just us on here.
Yes.
What you mean?
What I said. Let me turn it on so that it turns back. So if anybody jumps in, it'll make the sound.
We're still recording, by the way.
Oh crap.
We cannot upload that. Can you edit this?
Uploads it.
But can you